Last Saturday, scattered protests broke out around Iran to commemorate the first anniversary of the death of Mahsa Amini, a 22-year-old woman who died in police custody. She had been detained for allegedly not wearing her headscarf properly. The protests in the immediate aftermath of Amini's death rocked Iran. They were brutally suppressed and eventually died out. In more recent months, Iran has restarted foot patrols to enforce the country's strict dress code for women. Most importantly, perhaps, the headscarf requirement. When I sat down with Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi on Tuesday, I wanted to understand why his government remains so adamant about the need for women to cover their heads. It's around a year ago that there were those demonstrations across Iran that caused a great deal of internal strife. The Iranian government often likes to say this was small protests, but if you're pardoning 22,000 and you're still imprisoning many, many more, it suggests these were large. What I want to ask you is, at the heart of it is this issue of the hijab, about whether women should have their heads covered. And I grew up as a Muslim in India. I've traveled all over the Muslim world. Hundreds of millions of Muslims do not believe that this is something women should be told to do. There are dozens of Islamic countries where the governments are very pious and believe in Islam and they are devoted, and they don't believe this. They believe women should have the choice and the right to wear whatever they want and not have a patriarchal system tell them what to do. Are all these hundreds of millions, maybe over 1 billion Muslims wrong? And only the Islamic Republic of Iran is right?
What occurred during the days that you spoke of earlier, that was the presence of a few, not the presence of the people. The people of Iran did not support in any way those that rioted in the streets of Iran. The people's lack of support defeated their plans. There were some who were fooled. There were others who committed murder, conducted serious crimes. But what occurred last year was a war conducted in the media by the enemy. I don't want to name TV networks or news networks, but networks who were headquartered in the 3 European countries and in the United States of America, who broadcast news 24 hours a day. They openly teach tactics of terror. So they conduct instructional steps on how to build a cocktail Molotov. This is one of the facets of animosity of the United States of America towards the Islamic Republic of Iran, as well as that of certain European countries towards Iran. It's not hijab that matters for them. It's not the head coverings that matter for them. It's not women's rights. It's not nuclear issues. It's not human rights. Because there are countries such as the Zionist regime. Is the Zionist regime armed to the teeth with nuclear warheads or no? Why doesn't a single voice come out of the United States in protest to that? Why doesn't a voice come out of any of the European countries in protest to that?
But the hijab matters to Iranian women. I've talked to them. I've been to Tehran. It does matter to them. They believe it is an infringement on their rights.
But the fundamental issue is that today in the Islamic Republic, hijab is a law. And when an issue becomes part of the law, then everyone must adhere to the law. So it's the same the world over. And now that with regard to adherence to the laws, in reality, the Americans and certain European countries are only seeking to cause a bipolar situation in our society. So they conduct their work in this fashion, always. They thought Iran is one of those societies in which they can create two different opposing poles, in which women's and the gender issues become set against hijab. But rest assured that through the use of these tools, they will not succeed. The people of Iran are enlightened, are people of faith, are spiritual people, and they deeply understand that the United States of America and 3 European countries don't care about their rights, their hijab, but a life of respect for women has existed for hundreds and hundreds of years in Iran. It's not a development that we have observed in the past few decades.